shareholder in JPS. The other 80% is owned by two overseas companies, Marubeni of Japan, East West Power of South Korea. They weren't putting any money up for the restoration because the minister had given a notice earlier in 2025 saying that their license is coming to an end and wouldn't be renewed in 2027. So they didn't have any security that they would still be in charge of Jamaica's electricity grid come 2027, and they weren't going to put up any money without any security. So the government was putting up money far beyond its 20%, but still at least $200 million less than the minister told us was needed to fix the grid. We asked him, how is it a good idea to put some funding in without knowing how the necessary amount would be reached and obtained? He never answered that question. I asked him again on Tuesday. Again, he dodged the question. And I'm saying a matter as fundamental as this, where government resources, which is really the proceeds of the catastrophe bond, 150 million, has been lent to company JPS that Jamaica owns 20% of.
Did you hear that? The suggestion is that the government took the catastrophe bond and lent it to JPS. I don't want to misquote Mr. Golding. I want to make sure I hear him. Listen to it carefully.
Never answered that question. I asked him again on Tuesday. Again, he dodged the question. And I'm saying a matter as fundamental as this, where government resources, which is really the proceeds of the catastrophe bond, 150.
Okay, the government resources, the proceeds of the catastrophe bond, 150 million,
50 million has been lent to company JPS that Jamaica owns.
There you go. Is Mr. Harry in the box? Is Harry here? This is shocking. This is absolutely shocking, you know. I wonder if the government can clear this. Are you there, Harry?
I'm here, neighbor.
I'm going to play it again because I want you to hear, because I don't understand how you're telling me no. Go ahead.
Some funding in without knowing how the necessary amount would be reached and obtained. He never answered that question. I asked him again on Tuesday. Again, he dodged the question. And I'm saying a matter as fundamental as this, where government resources, which is really the proceeds of the catastrophe bond, 150 million, has been lent to company JPS that.
The leader of the opposition tells Jamaica today that the proceeds of the catastrophe bond was lent to JPS. How could the government do something like this, Harry?
The government didn't do that because the major point with it is that when they...
The government, no, sir. How do you mean the government did not do that? The leader of the opposition said they did it.
Leader, neighbor, the leader of opposition has always been, playing with the words to mislead people. Because the truth is,
are you saying to me that the leader of the opposition is misleading the nation?
His neighbor, right?
But that is a very serious accusation you're making for a man who in a position like this, Harry. Are you sure?
Well, I hear he's the integrity boss, but I don't see any integrity in the statement tonight. Because the truth is, we didn't even get the cat bond money as yet. Right?
We did not get the cat bond money when we issued this money to JPS?
We didn't get it yet. We had the approval of it, but it wasn't sent out yet. And then the funding came from if I'm not mistaken from my memory, is the consolidated funds where that came from, not the cat bond. But what the opposition leader did was liking the the good and the positive thing about the cat bond and likening it to something that the people are not well informed on. So it is the equivalent of what we get from the cat bond, but it is not the cat bond money. And that's what he plays with to murky the waters to those who aren't well informed about the difference. Because the truth is, neighbor, he could have simply said the government is loaning $150 million from the consolidated fund rather than saying the cat bond money, because that is misleading.
We are in trouble here. I don't understand. How could the opposition leader do this, though?
Neighbor, he's not held by the same standards or held accountable at the same level as the prime minister. And for me, I think that is where the problem lies, because if this man puts himself up to be and to possibly represent us, not saying it will happen or it may not happen, but the possibility stands that he is somebody who can be the prime minister for Jamaica and is not acting accordingly. Because the truth is, you have to carry yourself based on what you want to achieve. And if the country looks at you and says, listen, there's two major parties, and either leaders have to present themselves as true leaders. And if one is doing so and the other is not, then we have to judge them by the same standards. And I don't think Jamaica overall has been doing that enough. Certainly not the media, who should be protecting the people's right to accurate and factual information.
Is Scratchy there, moderator? I'd like to hear him on. Scratchy, listen to this again.
Any security. So the government was putting up money far beyond its 20%, but still at least $200 million less than the minister told us was needed to fix the grid. We asked him, how is it a good idea to put some funding in without knowing how the necessary amount would be reached and obtained? He never answered that question. I asked him again on Tuesday. Again, he dodged the question. And I'm saying a matter as fundamental as this, where government resources, which is really the proceeds of the catastrophe bond, 150 million, has been lent to company JPS that Jamaica owns 20% of. In the scenario,
Harry, what is wrong with that statement?
Neighbor, the fundamental and foundation aspect of it is totally incorrect, because they're two different things. The monies are two different things and will be used for two separate initiatives for our recovery. And I think the opposition is utilizing, I remember I did say it's something they use in sensationalism, right? They know how the people perceived the cat bond, right? It's almost like money that would have saved us, right? Money that we hedged against and yes, can help our recovery big time. And then what it does now.
We got it. And I don't think Jamaicans would feel good if we took that money and let it out. That's not true.
Right, because what you're doing now is something that can greatly impact our recovery and speed it up. You're now giving it away to a multi-billion-dollar institution. That is a picture the opposition is trying to paint, and that is grossly incorrect and gravely misleading people.
Oh my gosh. The opposition leader is gravely misleading people, sir?
He is, neighbor, because he knows the contents of the agreement, right? Because I cannot believe, for one, an average person like me who have no affiliations with the Jamaica Labour Party to know anybody to find out what is happening in the big group can know what the terms and agreements are, and the opposition who is in parliament and these information are being shared would fail to even know this information. It makes no sense.
How do you think that the government should respond to this, Harry?
I think for one, they have to call it out for what it is, neighbor, right? And also aggressively demand on behalf of the people of Jamaica a public apology, because you've misled the people. You've now given wrongful information. And as such, the same forum in which you did that, I am somebody who backs it. So whatever you do in public, you have to also face the repercussions in public. And as such, he has to, just like how they create these meetings and what's it that they do again? Public conferences thing. It has to be done and aired publicly right across the nation for this apology, because that is
why has the government, Mark put the statement out from morning, why has the government not addressed it fulsomely already?
I think they're more looking at it to trust the Jamaican people that they will see through it, that they'll also be able to get access to the right information that the government is putting out. But I think they are underestimating how quickly word of mouth works, right? Because what we've seen with this administration is that they're slow to correcting things. And based on what is happening in society, and especially with social media spreading things so fastly, is that the narrative would have already been etched in the people's mind. And it's a hard task to get it out. Because I've heard people saying, listen, we give away the cat bond money. And I sat there for a few minutes. Right. I've sat there for a few minutes and listened to hear how this conversation is going to turn out. Because I didn't want to assume that these persons who I think would be some level of intelligent people are making this blatant mistake. So it shows that the administration is more working towards getting the job done rather than protecting the very work that they're doing. And as such, they need to do more and catch these things as it is said. So the moment it leaves the mouth, you shut it down with the right information.
You're quite right. You're quite right, Harry. Moderator, I wonder if there is. Do we have anyone online that you could? I think she's having a bit of problem with the app tonight. You know, I'm not so sure what is happening. This is good. Gustav.
Very good night to you, my neighbor. Very good night to you and your listeners. I hope this time I am coming across rather clear.
A little scratchy, but let's work with it now.
Yes, sir. Let us work with it for as long as it lasts.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm hearing your neighbor.
Yeah, man. I'm saying to you. Do you have a comment on what we have been talking about?
Could you update me briefly as to, because I recently tuned in, so I would not have heard extensively what would have been the reasoning or what would have been the grounds for the reason you haven't known.
Hold on. Harry, again, the opposition leader raises questions about the Prime Minister's wife being appointed Speaker of the House. Any comments on that?
Well, we've seen it played out. Specifically, I would have shared the view on it to say, listen, it is one that is pretty much demeaning and belittling an individual life's work to get into a position just by putting them in the box of their marital status, right, or their affiliation to the head of state. And if we are holding up our democracy and meritocracy that's within our society, then the very thing that the opposition did should not be upheld, right? In fact, they should be called out on it. They should correct their statements, because when you look at somebody such as Mrs. Holness, what she has done, her life's work to get where she is, it is not by affiliation with Mr. Holness. And we have to also understand that you need to separate people's titles based on the environment that they're in. So when Mrs. Holness is in parliament, she's either the member of parliament or the chairman, right? You can't refer to her as the prime minister's wife, because that is something that is a personal title which has no jurisdiction and no bearing on the running of the country. It truly doesn't. It is not something that affects our constitution whatsoever. Now, if it's something outside of the realm of our politics and our governance, then that is fine as husband and wife. But to be demeaning the woman that have worked so hard to get into that position, to just relegating her to being a wife neighbor is not suitable. It is not something that should be even spoken about in our parliament, because that is not country's business. And when we're in parliament, we're discussing country's business.
Yeah. And is it the same thing that could be said about Miss Rochester, who was appointed the permanent secretary, Harry? Is Miss Rochester is Miss Rochester not appointed by the Public Service Commission?
She is, right? But I don't think, see, this is the thing, neighbor. Whatever fits a narrative that best suit a party or a person, they will always drawn to that. They will always highlight that factor to try and score political points, to try and see as if they come off better than and stronger than, when really and truly, neighbor, it is a level of cowardice, right? Because clearly you can't face the individual in the actual capacity that you should be facing them, or you're just not up to standard with the work. And I find it that's how persons who are either threatened or at a level of incompetence to really and truly step up to the table operates. And it's not something I want to see in my parliament or throughout my governance. You deal with somebody based on their title and the position they hold, and you discuss things on that matter. You don't bring personal things in it. One of the things I think Jamaica has failed on for quite a long while is that we try to attack the person rather than the situation. And as such, that makes us major in the minor. And that moves everything, and it wastes resources. And the resource I'm speaking of is time. Because the time they spent on this matter, deliberating about it, when it means nothing, absolutely nothing. You get nothing from it. The country doesn't benefit. The opposition doesn't benefit from it. And the administration currently doesn't benefit. So overall, we're wasting taxpayers' money when we could be doing proper work for the people and ensuring good governance. But it's a tactical maneuver for persons who, I would say, are in a lesser stance and trying to one-up somebody or an organization. And it doesn't spell right for the politics that I want to see my Jamaica practice, the governance that I want to see. And it's definitely not something I'll accept from any opposition whatsoever, because you should be operating as if you are better than the administration by putting alternatives forward and championing for the people.
Yeah, well, the opposition may have calculated that this is raw meat, the appointment of the permanent secretary, the prime minister's wife, and the whole matter of JPS. But you know, Harry, apart from comrades and other PNP supporters, this is quite distasteful, you know.
It is, neighbor, but it is actually not beneath them. Like I said, it's something I've seen in my short years here, understanding the political arena, growing up in it, and getting a better taste for it as I get older. It is something that is almost innate to this opposition, which I was really hoping that by the time I became of age would have changed. But in fact, I've more likely seen it double down. And I mean, Scratchy has said it best. It's not statesmanly, neighbor. It's
Yeah.
the level of how we go about politics right now is far and few. Meaning, the opposition is so far from the reality as to what the people deserve and what the people are commanding now compared to the current administration. And I don't think they're catching up soon enough. And that
Yes.
might be to their own detriment. and also maybe put a little stress on our democracy, because I want to see a competent opposition that fights for the people, is there for the people. But when you're only doing things for the party or gimmickry, that doesn't sit well anywhere for me. Like, you have to be better, and I don't think gimmickry in the face of the people of Jamaica, especially when our hard-earned taxpayers' money are paying you, and we're not getting value for money in these meetings and so on. It is just outright wrong, neighbor, and it is poor.
Absolutely. Let me take you back to the whole matter of the JPS and the fact that the opposition leader is giving the impression that the cat bond was loaned to JPS. Scratchy, Harry, in terms of misinformation or disinformation, would it not be appropriate for the government tomorrow to either issue a proper statement, call a press conference, and call out this opposition leader as because we are struggling with disinformation in Jamaica, Harry, and this is disinformation. The fact of the matter is that the government did not take the catastrophe bond and lend to the JPS. That is just not true. How is it that an opposition leader could find himself in a position where he is putting that out as information in a statement? That is irresponsible.
It is, neighbor. It very much is. But like I said, I think this administration, based on where Jamaica is coming from, and in terms of literacy and educational wise, I think, one, they're taking it for granted that actual Jamaicans will see through it. But the truth is, they won't. Especially the fact that they won't go searching for the right information. And they're being bombarded, neighbor. We know how social media is, and with mass media no longer being that credible, spells a serious problem for us, because with true journalism, which I've been begging for, right? With true journalism now on the dying end, we don't get journalists that are coming out with the facts and to pinpoint, calling out whoever they need to call out based on the facts, not opinions, not feelings. It makes it harder for people to actually make that right decision and find the right information, because the accurate information is so easily lost, neighbor, with what you are bombarded with every day, right? It doesn't matter how far you go for it. Based on the algorithm and how trends are now, you will see a lot of misinformation, and especially with something coming from the opposition, who is seen as a high-level neighbor in society and in our governmental structure. You wouldn't want to say the opposition is misleading us, but if you fact check it and don't take it for surface information and run with it, you will see that it is disinformation at its highest level. And it is done.
You can't have, Harry, you can't have a society struggling with disinformation and a member of parliament, no lesser than the leader of the opposition, the alternative prime minister, joining in that disinformation. This is a disgrace.
Of course it is, neighbor. It definitely is, because what it does now as well is, for me, it threatens the social fabric as to what to believe, and also how do we conduct our business as a government, and more importantly, how do we go about these defining moments and conversations via our very people. Because I can tell you, the conversation being had around this initially, when it was high, it was one set of people saying, listen, no, at the cat bond money, and another set saying, no, it is not. And the truth is, it is coming from two high forces, but I don't think the government and the administration is pushing back as aggressive
people are
as
putting
one.
out memes, people are putting out videos that Jamaica took the cat bond money and lent to JPS. I saw that on social media. The opposition leader said it.
Hold on, I think you broke up from my
lent the
end.
cat bond money to the JPS. And at 9 o'clock in Jamaica. I have not seen a statement out of the government rubbishing this. I've not seen
Well,
it.
I can tell you this, neighbor. The information has to come from one of two ministries. It should not be coming from the Prime Minister. That I'll stand on. Here's why. The Minister of Finance is the one brokering the deal, right? It is from their area. So they're pretty much, quote unquote, a person to understand. They're the department that is loaning the money, right? So they have all right to be able to put this out and let it be known that this is not the money that we're lending, or sorry, that we're loaning at 5%. And or, because I'd love to see the unison of also Darrell Vaz and his ministry, because it is an interdependent approach between both ministries to help in terms of JPS getting this restoration for our country, right? And for our people. And I want to see that joint force coming out to put this to bed. Well,
let me see if I can beg a little bit more time. Please, Harry, hold on for me. We're out of time. Let me see if I can negotiate a little bit more time with you. And we see. Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can get a little bit more time, please.
About dirty PNP, man.
Zero, them lyrics set up like the soul of sorrow. Tell them if we take it on the low, cause this is ain't no set show. Zero.
back. We're back here. Lee, hi, sir. Good night.
Yes, neighbor. Hello.
Good night, sir. Good night. Hi. How are you doing?
Yeah, what I'm saying now, I think the government is giving Mark Gordon a rope to hang himself.
No, don't say hang.
Yes, yeah, man.
Problem.
Give him a rope to hang himself. And the next question is this. Mrs. Owners is well educated. That's why I'm in the House of Parliament.
Yes.
Mark Gordon hiding his wife as a furniture in his house. So that burn him. Kind wife is a furniture.
Well, I
I
don't
can't
know.
say it better. Yes, his wife is a furniture. But Miss Ordness is a people person.
I see.
Mm-hmm. Very scratchy.
Huh?
Well, Scratchy is not here tonight. Scratchy.
No, sir. Just go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Lee. Yes, just go ahead.
They don't believe what I said. Of course, his wife is a furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he's not going to finish out this 5 term with the Labour, right? I think he's going to move. They're going to move him soon. He's not
Yes.
going to be there. They're going to move him soon. I give him this year to next year, latest March, to move. They're going to move him. Because he's going to dirty up the PNP more and more.
You think so?
Sure. And he don't like how Mr. Owen's dress. It's bad man, Mr. Owen is carrying himself so neat and clean, and he can't carry himself so neat and clean. There's a part of him problem too. No matter how you put on clothes, he never look good.
I see.
Look on him jacket, look on him face.
Well,
you need to go and shave and clean up himself like Mr. Owen's.
Well, you know, a man carries beard if he wants to carry his beard, so.
Yeah, but he must neat it up and make it look neat. Like a gentleman, he don't ready yet.
There is style and style, you know.
You don't have none. You have none. You can have your hand in your pants, wipe your bottom in a meeting. Come on, man. Get out of the house. If you get out of the house. PNP don't like women. Why they don't like women? Why? What is the problem with women and them?
They don't like women, sir?
No, they don't like female.
I didn't know that.
They don't like female. None at all. None of the PNP like female. It's a problem to them with female.
I didn't know that at all.
So all they must run this country and they don't like female. Look at Andrew. 3/4 of the people who vote for Andrew are female, actually. Because they swarm the government. Peer woman swarm Andrew. Woman like Sandgrain cannot be counted. You go sit down and leave out, man. That's why Andrew getting the rope hang himself. Can come with pure lie. And go hang himself more and more. Yeah, and keep on hang himself, man. Let him do it.
Yeah. Anyway, Lee, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Some important issues of governance. Greetings.
This evening, there was news on Nationwide concerning Mr. Vaz. That's Dwayne. Apparently, Mr. Vaz is alleged to have sent a counselor a text message I tell you the truth, it is so funny. Oh my goodness gracious me. Now,
Oh gosh, I can't believe me high. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting. Oh gosh.
How does HR feel with deal?
no,
Story during Nationwide at 5.
I don't like mix up, you know, but
Cover story.
Of the Savannah Lamar Division of the
Listen to this.
Municipal Corporation. First term councillor having problems with her member of parliament, Dwayne Vaz. Thank you so much, Councillor Chang, for sharing with us. Well, you're not Central Westmoreland. The PNP's Julian Chang. Today, Ms. Chang brought to our attention the relationship between herself and the Member of Parliament, Dwayne Vaz, has deteriorated badly to the point where this afternoon she is accusing him of sexual harassment and wanting her removed from the PNP constituency organization in Central.
the Mrs. Chang is accusing Mr. Vaz of sexual harassment. Dwayne Vaz.
Westmoreland. She's on the phone. We're also trying to get Mr. Vaz. Mr. Vaz, we've been trying to reach you. Yes, as Ms. Chang has made some serious allegations, which is only fair that you are given an opportunity to respond. Mr. Vaz, if you're hearing us or anyone hearing him, can tell.
No, this story does not belong in the media. I'm going to tell you the truth. And you know, I prepared a whole segment on this, and I think I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to tell you the truth. It doesn't belong in the media. I think that I'm going to scrap my comments on this because I don't think it achieves anything really. First of all, let me oh God, I tell you the truth.
I can't believe me high. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
Okay, now let me tell you something. If I send a woman a text message and tell her that I dream
Exciting. Oh gosh, I can't believe me high. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
Tell him that Nationwide is trying to find him in light of these damning allegations from the Council for the Savlamar Division in his constituency, Julie.
I did not want him to feel bad, so
If I send a woman a text message that it's raining. Yes.
Oh gosh, I can't believe me.
If I said a woman about to sleep, had a glass of wine, okay, sleep well. Hope you have a dream like mine. MP Vaz, may I tell you something, yo? No, sir. If I'm talking to a woman, be balanced listeners, and we're texting, and she said, oh, about to sleep, and had a glass of wine, and I respond, okay, sleep well. Hope you have a dream like mine. And she responds by saying, tell me the dream. Let me see if I can dream it. No, sir. I'm going to end the program tonight early. I tell you, I have I'm under pressure. Oh. Septi, I come into you. If I am talking to a woman, you know, I'm a big man, yes, and I am talking to a woman, and I say to the woman said to me, "Oh, I'm about to sleep," and I had a glass of wine, and then I say to her, "Okay, sleep well. Hope you have a dream like mine." And she says to me, "Tell me the dream. Let me see if I can dream it." Then the woman is going to come out and, oh, come now. Be reasonable, guys. Be reasonable. The lady is saying, and she's married. I tell you the truth. This is not politics. This is just, I tell you. Poor Mr. Vaz. So Mr. Vaz saw the opening, because what she did there is to provide the opening. Okay. Laugh out loud. Well, want to hear me? Oh boy, I tell you. And then he goes on to tell her the dream. Yeah, he goes on to tell her the dream, and of course it's a very interesting dream that he had. Okay. And then you respond by saying, Jesus Christ, you did drunk? No. Then there is nothing there that suggests to me sexual abuse. Well, sexual abuse? Not sexual abuse. What did you say, Harry? Harry?
I didn't catch that part, neighbor.
Well, let me ask you a question, Harry. Don't you think that this is a big about sexual harassment? If you are texting a woman, Harry, the woman is an adult, and she says to you, "Oh, I'm about to sleep. I had a glass of wine," and you say to her, "Okay, sleep well. Hope you have a dream like mine." And she says, "Oh yeah, tell me the dream. Let me see if I can dream it." And then you tell her your fantasies. And she responds by saying, "Jesus Christ, you did drunk." Is that harassment? Are you harassing her?
Neighbor, I think for one, she would have engaged in the conversation for it. Which, as I said, gives an opening for some level of conversing, right? And I would think that if in that conversation, if there is anything inappropriately said, it would be handled in that forum and not be weaponized in a public forum, right? Because for me, that is a discourse between both persons outside of the
Yeah, we are man.
public realm.
We are man. Come on. We are man, Harry. Is this really something that should be on media? I can't. 1 year ago.
I don't think it should. But by the nature of how I've seen these events globally, neighbor, not just locally and regionally, I would say the female have a I'm trying to find the right word because I don't want them come for me, you know. But the truth is, they have the luxury of, deciding something after an act has been created, right? So basically, their minds can be changed, and as such, they can do as free will, because I guess that is quote unquote a double standard, which makes no sense to me. But I truly don't believe that you can come now and weaponize something of that act, which was consenting, right? And then now try to get some level of mileage on it.
I mean, good morning. You know me dream about you last night? Really? I hope it's good. What you dream about? Laugh out loud. Was good, yes. Now I tell you. Dead will laugh.
I see somebody say because she couldn't dream the dream, neighbor.
come now, Miss Chan. Come now, man. No, come now. I mean, Vaz has other problems, but I don't know that you can kill him for this man. No, sir. And I really hope that in my life I probably would have flirted here or there sometime in the past. I don't I don't know that I've said anyone any dream, but I don't see this as any big story. I don't think she should have done this, quite frankly. I must tell you the truth. I don't think she should have done
it. It really shouldn't happen, neighbor. But the truth is, we don't know who is whispering in ears, and we don't know, who has influence over she coming forward now with something of this nature. Because truly, there are things in this society, neighbor, that will make a mountain out of an anthill or a molehill, neighbor. It really push a narrative that isn't there.
That he's been sabotaging her. It's a different issue, though. Yeah, that's a different issue. This one here that she's saying that he sexually harassed her. I don't know that there is any harassment here. These are two big people texting each other and flirting.
And I want people to understand as well, in a neighbor. You see, these things, there's a irreversible factor to it, because the tarnishing of a man's reputation of something of this manner cannot be undone. Like there's even if it's not true, right? The man really will never ever be pardoned by society for it. He'll be stained with it.
Yeah, because he was very explicit. Mr. Vaz, God Vaz, why I tell you, Mr. Vaz, you got one there. But you know, I must tell you the truth. I want to be fair and I want to be balanced in this, although I don't necessarily believe in those two words as far as it relates to political analysis. But I must tell you the truth. What I've seen here does not suggest to me that this is any massive story. It's part of the sensational news items that we like to jump on, and I don't see anything here at all. You know, if she found it offensive, then I don't see. Listen, if a man, and you ladies online, how would you respond to a text message like that if you were totally offended by it? If you found it to be so inappropriate, would you respond by just saying, "Jesus Christ, you want a drink"? Would that be a response? Do you think so, Harry?
Because I'm seeing people here saying, listen, she's a married woman. But the thing with it, neighbor, is your co-worker, right? Which means you literally spend most of your days and your time around this individual or in the same environment. And as such, you would have a great understanding as to, who the individual is. So if you open up yourself to and entertain such an act, because that's what she did. And as a married woman, neighbor, to be truthful, you won't be entertaining certain things. So you won't be initiating something like that.
Mr. Bars, don't be out of order, sir. I am married. I don't think that is appropriate. Something like that to say, "Sir, I'm disappointed with that." But if you're going to say share the dream, a man tell you him dream a dream with you. Oh, you talk about share. Share what? I mean, I tell you the truth. It is rather, anyway. Hold on. Let me play a little bit of it. My listeners want to hear it. Let's hear it.
Indicated to Mr. Vaz that the advances were unwelcome advances. But you're now raising it as sexual harassment. Did you give him any reason or indication at all, even if it were not verbal, that you were uncomfortable with what he was sending you?
Well, Cliff, if you read the messages
Ricardo,
that I responded when he texted me, you would have seen that.
Okay, Dana, could you just put up the message, please? The one regarding the dream. All right, so let me just see it here on my screen. So it reads, listeners, and if there are children around, you may want to exercise discretion. I remember it from us being at a hotel bar having drinks. Not sure if we went there together. It was raining too. The next thing I know, we're in a room, expletive the lives out of each other. And your response here, Ms. Chang, on the 9th of February, 2025, was, "Jesus Christ, you did drunk." Yes, that's you. That's what you responded.
No. What type of response is that to a man who tell you that in dreams, him do whatever with the life out of you? Whatever response is that, Harry, for a married woman? Talk to you.
Neighbor, first of all, it should have never been initiated in the first place, because let's not fool ourselves. Yeah, really and truly, there's no way, as a married woman, you should even say, "Tell me about the dream," because especially the fact that, and I'm going back to the fact that you spend time in this environment with this man, so you are able to know what he's capable of. And the truth is, in society, you don't control what somebody thinks or says of you. You control how you respond and how you give access of yourself to them. And she would have, I don't think she's gullible. I don't think she's not intelligent enough to not see where this conversation would have gone based on the person she's dealing with.
Yes.
And as such, because I say somebody saying if we're blaming the lady, both persons are to be held accountable. But the truth is, it's being initiated in a way as if it's just the man alone.
Yes. No, what I'm questioning is the sexual harassment. How does it become sexual harassment when he told you he got a dream? You say, share the dream. Let me see if I can dream it. I mean, oh my gosh. Let me see if I can dream it too. And the man, hold on, and laugh out loud. Well, we hear it. You well want hear it. So he's saying you will want to hear it, and then he sends you that with a little emoji. By the way, mute that caller for me. Mute that caller. I wonder if you see the emoji that Mr. Vaz sent to. Emoji, an emoji with his tongue long out. What is
Hi. Boy, I tell you something. This is all very exciting.
I wonder if you see the emoji that Mr. Vaz, I tell you. Boy, I tell you, I tell you, Mr. Vaz send an emoji with a tongue long out there. Say, I tell you. Hi, Mr. Vaz, you're bad. You No, sir, I tell you. Anyway, and she says, you know, Jesus Christ, you did joke. Listen to them.
Yeah.
Yes. And he responded, LOL, no. Hey, just checking if you got to travel. And you said, no, I'm stuck. You busy? Huh?
You busy?
So, well,
And I ask you these questions, Ms. Chang, because I'm sure Mr. Vaz will say that he does not deem it this way because you did not say anything explicit to tell him that these advances were unwelcome. How would you respond to that?
I did not want him to feel bad, so I just asked him if he was drunk, because he must have been drunk to make those suggestions to me.
And you're saying, having received those messages, you were uncomfortable?
Yes, I was.
If you do not receive any response from the party, what is it that you intend?
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If I am married to a woman, and she gets that message from a man, and she responds like that, me and her in a problem. What you say, Harry?
Sense of asking a round table talk, no, because me need to know
But
exactly.
if you see a conversation like this that your wife is having with a man, how would you feel?
Neighbor, for me, I'd question the relationship between both persons. Because what
a man telling your wife that he want to F the life out of her, and her response is, you wanna drink? You're joking, man.
And the thing, the other part to it as well, neighbor, she's a married woman, right? I'm not sure if this part of the conversation came up, but did she bring it to her husband? Because of course, you know, a woman would want to be confrontational with a man, and as such, the husband, who is a protector, would have had an idea about this conversation. In order to come to her aid, he would have had a word or two with Mr. Vaz. I'm not sure if that was part of the conversation or any form of activity brought forward. Because if that wasn't brought to that level, then it leads me to question why and what is happening between both persons.
Yeah, listen a little more.
To do further.
Serve the people of Savannah Lamar.
When were you elected councillor, Ms. Chan?
In the last local government election.
In 2024?
Correct, yes.
And that's your first term, right?
Yes.
But Ms. Chan, this is rather unseemly. Yeah, we have been hearing of the problems in the relationship between you, and I mean political relationship between you and Mr. Vaz for some time now. Yes. And I'm just curious, why have you decided now that you've had enough?
I believe that it all started from these texts. And I believe that I was not saying or doing what he wanted me to do.
And then
so he started to politically victimize me.
And when were the text messages first? You said
no, hold on there. Hold on there now. So then, this is interesting. So she's saying, Harry, that she is not doing. Was she intimidated by Mr. Vaz's position? Did she feel like she was not empowered to respond in a way that would make Mr. Vaz know that she's not up to it, because somehow she's afraid of victimization because Mr. Vaz's power? Do you think, sir?
It is a one in which power struggle within corporations, neighbor, and it is not unique to any one corporation or societal setup.
Yeah,
so that could definitely play a role in it. But the truth is, with what's happening, if it has to be at least something you raised or you eased into the conversation.
The relation suggests familiarity. In other words, even if we pull out the power dynamics to say, here is a man in authority or with authority, and so a woman may not necessarily want to respond to him in a particular way. But the conversation appears to be familiar. In other words, this is not my boss. This is not somebody that I am not familiar with. There's a little bit of flirt there.
There's a level of informality to it, neighbor. And it has to be one in which this familiarity was fostered at some level, right? Maybe the level and the perception of that level differs for both persons. For Mr. Vaz, thinking he could have, made such advancement, or even for the lady to even think of it in that manner. But the truth is, neighbor, from my end, both persons have to be held accountable, because for one, as a wife, you are, for one, in alignment with your husband, and this is something you would have brought to the forefront, even from a security standpoint, neighbor, right? And I know people will say, oh, in a man's world, you have to take on some manly form of traits. But this is not a battle that one can